Whoops, I was muted. Thanks, Nicole. Good thing I've only been on for like 30 seconds. I was just saying I'm going to post that we're live, and then we'll get talking about our books here. All right. Gotta find the live link, and then we will post it. Okay, here we go. Get shareable link, and excuse me, weird hiccup. We are live. Let's chat Bonesmith. Right, so there's that, and then let's post it on Instagram, and then we'll chat. But while I'm posting this, if you guys want to let me know, like, did you make it to chapter 10? Did you read the, like, assigned reading, I guess you could say? Let me know in the comment section so that I know if we are good to chat. And then we'll chat about chapters 1 through 10. What page was that to? I think it was literally to page 100. So this, like, I feel like a good amount for like 10 chapters, like 10 pages per chapter-ish is what it's looking like. Just realized I don't have the graphic on my phone, so I gotta download it real quick. And then, you know what, we're not gonna do that. We'll just share the post I did, because that's easier. We'll do a little live now. And tag First Riders and Nikki. Okay, there we go. Now we can chat. All right, so let me know if you guys have read to chapter 10, because that's what we're discussing today, chapters 1 through 9. So you should have read to page 100, which is the start of chapter 10, so all the way through 9. Let me know if you've read that far. And let me know what you guys have thought of so far. I ordered like a regular, like more than one copy so that I could annotate one. So I normally never write in books. I normally do like the sticky notes, and like write on the sticky notes instead of like actually in the book. But I don't know what it is about Nikki's works, but I just always want to write in these books because they're just my favorites. So I don't have the tabs like I normally do on my other annotated books, but I do. Excuse me. I keep getting really weird hiccups where it's like a weird like inhale. I don't know. But I'm writing in the book, so I'm having a lot of fun doing that. Something that is of no consequence or like spoiler wise that stands out to me that I love is that Ren's dad calls her little bird, and my dad calls me bird. So that's just like cute and sentimental to me. So I love that Ren's dad calls her bird. Got through the whole section. I'm enjoying it so far. I could have used a couple of chapters before the trial started to set up the world a little bit before the action. I can understand that. I always like learning alongside the character, the history, and the world building. So it was almost fun to jump right into the action for me, but I can definitely see why you would want that world building to happen prior to the trial, because you're, I guess, not really understanding the like not depth, but like how important this trial is, until you're like already halfway through the chapter, like halfway through the trial. Also, it would just be really cool to see this like Bonesmith Academy and like learn more about the learning about the Bonesmith. I think that's really cool as well. I think we've all been a little bit spoiled by like academy trope with Fourth Wing, so it's hard to not want that sort of like academy aspect of a book. So I can definitely see like wanting more and like setting up the world more. But I'd be interested to see like what that would look like other than an academy. But so far, I think we've gotten a pretty good look into what the world looks like just from learning through Rin, which is fun. Another fun fact, and I swear I had these names picked out before I read this book, and I'm not just saying this because Nikki is one of my favorite authors, but like I've always wanted to name a little girl Ren and a little boy Leo, so I love that the main characters are Ren and Leo. And the reason I want Ren and Leo is my dad's middle name, so I've always loved that for a little boy. And then Ren, like I said, my dad calls me Bird, so I've always wanted like a bird name. I don't particularly like obviously I'm not going to do like cardinal or penguin, but like Wren or Robin or something like that is like a bird name. So I've always liked the name Wren. So I just think it's funny that two of like future kids' names I would want are also two of the main characters from this book. So let me know, did you guys see the betrayal coming from the trial? Did you see her cousin betraying her? Did you kind of had a feeling that was going to happen, or was that because like I feel like it's so early on, you just kind of expect something's going to happen. Also, I think it kind of alludes to it in the synopsis with like how she has to go on a separate quest to save the prince, I guess. So what else should we talk about? I am going to do a like what kind of smith are you quiz, so that'll be super interesting to like figure out what kind of smith you are between. I'm probably only going to do like the top ones, so like iron, gold, silver, and bone, and stone. So like the top 5 I'll probably do, just to like keep it somewhat contained, because there's probably so many smiths in this world, and like it would just be hard to like make a quiz to decide between all of those smiths. What else? I'm interested to see what happens with the ring that she found that was like half bone and half iron. I feel like that's going to play into something. And also the way that, what's her name? At the wall. Starts with an O. I'm blanking. Odile. I'm curious, like, because a lot of people keep alluding to the fact that she doesn't really look like her dad. So I find that interesting. I didn't really expect it, but it didn't totally surprise me either. I don't think we had a ton of time to learn about their relationship. I also didn't read the synopsis recently. Yeah, okay, that's fair. I think that, yeah, it was hard to gauge what their relationship was like going into it, because from the get-go, it just kind of seemed like a friendly banter competition-ish. Especially when they say like cousin, you immediately go to like, oh, family, oh, that's like a friendly fire kind of thing. But no, this is like a pretty severe like fight. I guess I should have picked up on that, because like right from the get-go they say like family's not important. What's the actual phrase? I underlined it. in here. They were linked by magic, not love, duty, not affection. That was the way of the House of Bone. So I think, like, if you like really lean into that, you can see how the cousin would betray the other cousin. And like, even just like reading, why am I blanking on everyone's name? The cousin, Imra, I think, Inara. Even just reading like her reaction to what ended up happening to Ren, I'm just like, did she mean to do it or did she not? He liked Odile. The wall seems like it's going to be a very interesting place to be. I think Leo is going to get her in trouble based on the last chapter. So, oh yeah, I love that he just rolls in and Ren's roommate's like, "Did you invite him?" And at the same time that Ren says no, he says, "Yeah, more or less." He's so funny. He is definitely going to be a character for sure. He almost has like a Cardan from the Cruel Prince kind of vibe to him from the get-go, just like the gilded prince with like the charm and the like snarky, not even snarky, but like the sass and the humor. I can definitely see like a Cardan vibe in him. So I'm interested to see like where their relationship goes and if it grows into a actual relationship or if it grows into more of a friendship. Because I think something's definitely going to go down there in some regard. And I think that the like finding the not catacombs, but like the third level of the dungeon is going to play into that somehow. And or like something's gonna happen there because it like I feel like Odile alluded to the fact that she was gonna need to use it in the future for sure. Even Ren was like, I feel like I'm missing something in the book when she was like, yeah, you might need this in the future, and Ren's like, am I missing something? Or I don't remember the exact phrase from the interaction, but I think there's definitely a little foreshadowing going on there. Did you guys sense any other foreshadowing, or did you like get a sense of like theories of what you think might be happening, or what you think like, do you think anything's gonna happen with the Ironsmiths? Do you think anything's gonna happen with like back at the Bonesmiths? Do you think we're gonna get any more perspective over there? Seemed a little early to be telling all of the secrets of what goes on at the wall. Well, it's weird because I feel like the time passes so much faster in the book than you realize, because I feel like it's only been a few days and she's like, oh yeah, several weeks have passed and the prince finally gets here. And I'm like, oh wow, she's been there for a while, and you like don't really get to see her time there. So it's like, how long had she actually been there before? I know she's only been there for about like a month or so, because when she gets invited to the prince's dinner table, the like commander or whoever you want to call him it seems like put out because all the other people have had years of service there and she's only had like a month. But still, like that month passed fairly quickly in like a relatively short amount of pages. You think Ran is going to have to go beyond the wall to do what? You don't know. Okay. So I think that's definitely a fair assumption. I think we're definitely going to see beyond the wall. I think we're definitely going to get something with the Iron Smiths, whether like I don't like it alludes to the fact that there's people beyond the wall, but it also says like the Ironsmith airline has been like wiped out. So I'm still like, are there Ironsmiths or are there not? So I'm interested to like learn more about the land beyond the wall for sure. And I think like I feel like it's just expected, like an inevitable thing for them to go beyond the wall, just because they said so many times in the book that they haven't gone beyond the wall in like so long, like beyond the palisade of like the second wall of bone. I feel like we just have to. I feel like you're not gonna get anything out of it if you don't go beyond the wall. Like, you can't keep talking about it and then not go beyond it. I really like the map, like the addition of the map as well, because I always like to reference like where we are in the book as opposed to like what they're talking about in the story. So I did like having this map reference and seeing like where they were when she was on her journey to the wall and where the wall was in reference to everything else and all that. Her mom was an ironsmith. You think that or you know that? Did we read that? Or is that a theory? I don't remember. I just remember reading a fellow soldier. So you think that. Okay. See, I don't think her dad is her dad. I think her dad is Lance. Is that his name? I am just terrible with names right now. I think her dad is the brother that died. And I don't know who the mom is. Yeah. Like the father's, her uncle, I think. Because everyone says that she looks so much more like him than the father. Like, she even said, I don't look anything like my dad other than like the bone white irises. But don't all bonesmiths have that? That's my theory. And I think Odile is somehow wrapped up in that. I don't think she's her mom, but I think she's like wrapped up in that somehow. Other than just being like the uncle's reaper. So I'm definitely curious to see where that goes. And I'm glad that she wasn't part of the royal line, or else there would definitely be no like possible way for the Goldsmith prince to be a possible love interest, because then they would be very distantly related, I guess. Yeah, so we've talked about theories, we've talked about what we liked and what we didn't like. Let me see, just glance through here. If you had a weapon, like if you could make a weapon out of bone, I saw like there were some pretty cool ones. Like Ren has the twin swords, and Leaf has a broadaxe made of a pelvic bone, and Anara carries a flail with a spiked skull on its head. Like, that sounds so cool. That sounds awesome. Like, what would your weapon of choice be? I feel like mine would definitely be some sort of ranged attack. I always like archery, so somehow like maybe like rib bone bow and like bone arrows somehow. I think that would be cool. Either that or like a spear. I don't know. I like a longer range attack personally, but I also want some cool daggers. Like, I feel like a cool dagger is definitely important. Other than that, I'd say we've pretty much talked about the first 10 chapters here. So I think it's fair to jump into reading. Throwing knives. Yeah, those would be cool. What kind of bone would you use for that? Just like probably like the femur or like an arm or leg bone of some sort, because like finger and toe bones would obviously be too small. So probably like an arm bone. I don't know what the arm bones are called. I'm like pulling up the Hannah Montana Bone song in my head. I'm like, that's the collateral bone. It might be crazy. I do it anyway. What? We're doing the bone dance. We dance and we work it. I don't know. I don't even remember the bone dance song, but I don't think she even talked about the arm. I'm getting really off track here. Already, at least you know. I felt like I knew the humorous, but I definitely didn't know the others. So let's go ahead and get started reading the next chapters here. Or if you'd like to pick up another book, just because it is the last day of the month, I'm probably going to finish. I have 2 books I'm trying to finish before the end of the month, so I might not read Bonesmith tonight. I might try to finish those before the end of the month. But let's do some reading sprints real quick. Let me get my timer up here. There we go. All right, and let's set our timer. Let's do a 30-minute set. And go ahead and make your vote. Who's going to win our race here? The snowman, the penguin, the banana, or the turtle? This is like so hard for me because penguins and turtles are 2 of my favorite animals. So we'll just do like an eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Eeny, meeny, miny, ho. That's not what I meant to say. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Eeny, meeny. Oh, if you're going penguin, I'll go turtle. That way they each have a vote. All right. Let's turn this off before I forget. And mute myself, and then I'll see you guys in 30 minutes. Enjoy reading. Ooh, should have gone with the penguin. All right, Nicole, you got it. The penguin won. I was torn between the penguin and the turtle, so. Kelly, I'm so glad that you're having fun. I'm glad you joined. I hope you're enjoying the book so far. It's definitely one of my favorite authors, so I'm excited to be hosting this for sure. So I hope you're enjoying like the first 10 pages so far. Not 10 pages, oh my gosh. Yeah, you only had to read 10 pages. The first 10 chapters so far. So how did everyone do on their reading? Did you guys read Bonesmith? Did you pick up another book? How far did you get? I was actually finishing an audiobook. So I finished The Midnight Bargain by C.L. Polk. It's kind of like a fantasy Bridgerton in a way, so I was enjoying it. But I just finished this on audiobook. So I have that one, and then I'm hoping, why can I not show things without hitting myself in the face? Why is this just a common occurrence? I also have this little graphic novel called Ride On that I want to try to finish before the end of the night, which shouldn't be hard at all. I'll probably try to get through this in like the next reading sprint. That's the word. I'll try to get through this in the next reading sprint, or 2 reading sprints, depending on how long it takes or how long I do reading sprints for. You're really enjoying it? Good. We were talking about it earlier, so I'm sorry you missed like the chat about everything. But we have lots of theories and lots of ideas for what's going to happen next. Or not lots, but like we have some ideas for what's going to happen next. And people seem to think that like unanimously that Leo is going to be trouble. And we were talking about like what kind of weapons we would have and what kind of smiths we would be. So make sure you tune in next time for the next set of the next set of chapters on those. So what is the next set? It's 10 through, I think, 18 or something like that. Let me look real quick. You would think I'd know this off the top of my head by now. Okay. Let's see. It's chapters, 10 through 18. Okay, so I subconsciously know. I'm not sure how much I read in this sprint, but I've read almost 270 pages of Church Today, a dark romance. That's cool. That's 270 pages. That's awesome. I finished House of Sky and Breath today, so that was a wild ride. I mean, I texted you immediately after I finished, so you know what my reaction was to that, Nicole. But that was a wild ride right at the end, so I feel like that's just a typical Sarah J. Maas like experience, I guess. Like it's always a slow start and then it's just like a wild ride at the end every time. Started this morning, so you're further along. Oh, you're further than the 10 chapters? That's awesome. I've actually read the book before. I read it in manuscript form, which was really cool, but I don't remember a lot of it. And like, well, I remember some of it, but not like every little detail. And also like some things have changed since the manuscript form. So I'm excited to like read. If you actually go to the acknowledgements in the back, my name's in there, which is really cool. Yeah, the acknowledgements. I'm right there. And Megan. So cool. I cried a little when I saw my name in a book. This is actually the second name my book is in the acknowledgements of. Yet I'm also in Wings of Shadow, which is the third book of the Crown of Feathers trilogy. So it's just unreal to have like your name in print. So I can only imagine having your story in print. Like how cool would that be if you wrote a book and like got to hold the physical copy? I am not a writer by any means, so I don't ever see that in my future, but I can just only imagine how cool that is for the author. Any differences? Not yet. Most of my comments were just like grammatical things, but I did have a few like questions that I would write to be like, hey, can you clarify this or can you clarify that? So I haven't noticed anything different yet, but a lot of my like questions I feel like came later on because we're already in and we've already world built some. So a lot of my questions came later on and being like, hey, this happened in this chapter, but now it's happening again here. Maybe we should like not have it happen again here. So it's just an interesting process. I almost want to like go back and look at like the edits I gave her to see like what got changed. But yeah, I've read a little sneak peek for you guys. I've read 50. I've written down that I've read 52 books so far this month, but I just finished Midnight Bargain. So that's 53, and I'm hoping to read Right On, which would be 54. 54 books this month. That's insane. That's exciting, but it's insane. And I just started another one, and I'm still like reading Bonesmith. So I've completed 53, will finish 54, and then have started like 4 others. So crazy kid this month, y'all. I'm a crazy kid. All right. You adored the Crown of Feathers series? Yes, I can't, like, I talk about the Crown of Feathers series more than I should, in all honesty. Like, I talk about it all the time, and anytime someone asks for a recommendation, I'm just like, Crown of Feathers. Like, almost every one of my book recommendations videos, I somehow mention or bring in Crown of Feathers. So, I read a book written by someone I went to college with, and it was fun seeing the names of a bunch of people I knew in the anonymous. Yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know them personally, but in Wings of Shadow, Nikki listed a lot of people that were on like the street team. So I knew them from the street team, but I didn't know them personally. So that's cool that you know them personally. That's crazy. I guess that's one way to get your TBR. Yeah. Yep. And you know what's even worse is I've hauled. So I've read 53, but I've hauled 42. So it's like I only read 10. I need to be stopped. I was so close to being under 700 physical TBR. And then I went to a book event where they had books really cheap, and I bought like 20 books. I need to be stopped. Wow, I'm at 21. I did read a ton of graphic novels this month because they were just taking up so much space on my shelves. So I did read like 20 something graphic novels this month. So that's about half of what I've read, and those don't take long at all. But still, I've read like 31 regular books. I've done a lot of audiobook reading this month. So basically, whenever I'm like doing something like cleaning or making food, or even when I'm eating, or when I'm at work doing like kind of a mindless task where it's like more of a tedious admin thing, or like data input, or that kind of thing, I'll just listen to an audiobook, and it's great. I knocked 150 off my Goodreads TBR this month by going through it. That's like twice as many as the last few times. Yeah, I think we talked about this in the like text chat, but I went through my Goodreads too. I was able to knock off probably 100-ish that I don't want to read, and then probably another 100-ish that were like duplicates. So that's pretty good, right? I think so. But I need to not keep buying books. That's my issue. I've just gotten really into historical, like Regency romance recently. and the book sale was mostly that. So I just kept buying a bunch of like Regency romance books or like historical romance books. So that's where I got off track there because I was doing fairly well. But, and then there's the rest of the books I've hauled behind me. I have them all stacked, ready to do a little filming session with them all. So I'll need to do that soon. But I have my 50-something books over here. Oh, I should mention, I haven't actually read 53 because I'm counting the books that I started and didn't finish. So I've probably actually only read like 47-ish, minus the like 20. So I've probably read about 21 books, to be honest. But still, that's a lot of books. I'm proud of myself. It's been a while since I've been in a reading like binge mood like this. Like when I got my just like this past year has been the wildest year of my life with just like I feel like I've lived through so many life altering events in the past like year, to be honest. I saw a meme and I screenshotted it because I was cracking up because it's literally how I feel about my life. I know I sent it to my friend Leah, so let me check my chat with her. Me going through my fourth once-in-a-lifetime crisis in 3 years. Only mine, it's like me going through my fourth once-in-a-lifetime crisis in the past year. I mean, my grandma died on August 2nd of last year. So ever since then, like my grandma died, and then I found out I had a brain tumor, and then I found out I had a second brain tumor, and then my grandpa just passed away on Saturday. Like, it's been a year, y'all. It's been something. So I've not been in a reading mood for like the second half of last year. I barely read anything, and then I slowly started to get back into it at the beginning of this year. And then I just really like kicked off here in July. I don't know what happened. I went from let's see. Last month I read 13 books, and this month I read 52. So yeah, it's been something. So enough about me. Let's do another reading sprint. Okay. Let's see here. Do you guys want to do another like 30-minute sprint? Do you want to do something shorter, something longer? We can do 20 minutes if you guys would prefer that. We could do another 30. Just let me know what you're feeling. I've had the weirdest hiccups. I don't know what's going on. Awful, totally understand. Yeah. I'm almost like desensitized to bad things at this point, which is horrible to say, but I've just been like, like life happens, 30 is good. All right. We'll do another 30. Alrighty. All right, claim your character. Do you want astronaut boy, turtle, chicken, or cat? Because they're on a race. I think I'm going to go turtle. We'll see if the turtle doesn't fail me this time. Nicole seems to always get it right, so it's probably going to be the cat, but I'm going to go turtle. I'm like that kid that has like the face paint. I'm like, oh, look, turtles. All right, you guys. I'll see you in 30 minutes. Enjoy your next reading sprint. Hey, the turtle didn't let me down this time. Awesome. Oh my gosh, I was so close. Look how close I am to the end. It's like 4 pages. I was like, oh, if we were only going like 2 minutes longer, I could have finished it. But all good, all good. Let me know how you guys did this sprint. We'll probably do one more after this. But yeah, let me know how you did this sprint and what you read, how long you read, or like how far you read into whatever you were doing. I think once I'm finished with this, I'm gonna pick up maybe To Sir Philip with Love. It's the next book in the Bridgerton series, either this or Kingsbane or my audiobook. We'll see which one. Maybe the audiobook so I can catalog some things on my read list. Ran and got dinner and made it back with a minute to spare. You killed it. Did you read an audiobook on the way? I started Sons of Darkness on this sprint. Oh, that sounds interesting. Now I want to look it up. Sons of Darkness book. Is it the one by Gaurav Mahanti? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Trying to find it on Goodreads so I can read the little... Well, here it is on Barnes & Noble. Yeah. Okay, so we're looking at the same one. Good. The House of Dragon meets Succession in an epic reimagining of the Mahabharata. Mahabharata? Oh, a pirate princess. Oh, that's all I need to hear. I'm adding it to my TBR. Sons of Darkness. Like royalty and pirates and like mythical creatures like phoenixes or dragons or like that kind of thing are like my top 3 tropes in fantasy, other than like romance. I like romantasy, but like that's why I love Crown of Feathers. That's why I love Fourth Wing. I love like pretty much every book with like pirate mermaid trope in it. Specifically, like I like mermaids, but specifically pirates because I love like the adventure aspect and being on the boat and everything. Yeah. This looks good. All right, and is now added on my TBR list, my never-ending. I have like over 2,000 books on my TBR of books I don't own and haven't read, but want to read. I was reading Ride On, which is a graphic novel. It's about like a girl at a horse stable. It's giving what was it called? What was that horse show? Horse show girls. Stable something. Horseland. Horseland. It's giving Horseland. Yeah. Oh, what's the one that's live action though? I think that one maybe had Stable in it. Was it like Stable Girls or something? Saddle Club. That's what it was. Yeah, it's giving like Horse Girls or Horseland / Saddle Club. I think it's cute. I definitely, I think it's a cute little graphic novel and I would almost want to keep it, but I got this edition, like this copy at like a yard sale, so it's pretty beat up. Like it has a huge rip right here and like a bunch of the pages are like sticky or like have stuff on it to make them sticky. So I might like get rid of this copy and get a newer copy that's not sticky. I'm gonna turn this off. Why am I so bright? Why does I look so white? There's just no facial feature here. Yeah, it's just like not gonna pick up that I have a face apparently. Yeah, I don't know how to fix this. Maybe if we turn off it's like it's just not gonna work. I'm so sorry. You literally can't see me. Being that my camera is just like being a little jerk right now, I might end here because you literally just can't even see me. So I hope you guys enjoyed reading sprints tonight. Sorry that my camera's being a jerk and won't let me continue, but I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next week on Tuesday to discuss chapters 10 through 18 of Bonesmith. Have a good night, guys.